Getting back into your convertible. Brand new, all paid for life. You're driving out to town, on the way to the Grove. It really represents the prosperity consciousness of the person. Without it, you can't function. Now we're coming to the lake. It's sunset. The stars are out. It's the harvest moon. And you're stepping into the lake. Right down to the top of your head in the water. It's the fountain of youth. Right within you. In the location of the heart. There's the moon. The spaceship setting down an elevator for you to climb aboard. You're off into the galaxies. mental kingdom is cleaning up the left brain and the right brain, getting it ready. For the creative consciousness to come in. Here it comes. That's the bonding of the sperm with the ovum. The winner. Forming you. I got no time. Or any time for you. The end product. That's what he said. Amen. Not time. Big celebration. I only have time for you. Touch the next person. Life. God is of the living, not of the dead. He's only got time for us now. He's forming us out of sonics. So be conscious and being formed by sonics. That's why Jesus said, love Him with all your mind, all your heart, all your strength, and all your consciousness or soul. Life. Melissa, you want to hold a hand? Can't be unconscious now. No time for unconsciousness. As the music intensifies, just squeeze. The charge goes around everybody. Touch is the bridge to life. This is the Mother Nature now. God in the form of Mother. The whole environment. The birds. Everything here before we came. One big giant Christmas tree. You know the code, you hear it? Thank you. Merry Christmas. Okay. The basic playing with a hand or an instrument couldn't hold it long to get the phrase out.
Then you take that hand and put right here.
The other day when I was driving
Oh, you
home,
hold it.
Yeah.
I was talking about reaching someone, and all of a sudden a hawk came up out of the ditch, and he was right there by the window. He scooted over the top of the car and right down to the driver's side, right like within a foot.
Alright. You will notice if you play this music in the car at times, that's why I don't like you to play it before you've been exposed to it. It can knock out a lot of your defense mechanisms. That's why we like to play it first to let the person get exposed and then go through and then can drive it in a car. You'll notice periodically a bird may be around you, one single bird flying, coming, and wherever you travel, if it's a strange way, he may fly right across and signal, come. The music has this tendency on animals already. It resonates in their ear. They pick it up, they don't know why, but they'll come towards you, and especially children, because their endocrine system is more in line with being normal. And the songs that are made for the birds that you hear, they do resonate with their frequency. So they did a lot of work of trying to get things that would, when it goes out into the air, it has an effect. Thank you.
Donna, how are the tapes available? Do you buy them?
Yeah, I wanna.
Okay, you got one.
Chuck and Julie will really do some good work sessions, because by that time you'll be more exposed to the music in your own ears, and your own body will be cleaning out.
In June or January?
Sorry. Yeah, Dan are all initiates.
Do what?
They're all initiates.
Oh.
So you know they spend their time, and they did a lot of cleaning up their own body to get it to work.
Turn it off. Good.
How much time?
Yeah.
No, the master has the save. Or doesn't it?
Oh,
Just take it off.
let me say this. We're all familiar with Luther Burbank. What he did for a walnut tree, to reduce it from 34 years to 17 years in order to eat the nut. Years ago, back in the 20s, it would take a walnut tree to grow about 34 years before it would produce nut edible. In his approach in those days, we worked to reduce the time, and so when a walnut tree was 17 years, it then gave nut to be eaten. Equally true, the fellow who worked on this music, we try to shrink the time it takes for the individual to sit down and meditate and eat correctly, which they call 18 years. If Jesus went from 12 to 30, that's the normal span that a person goes through one Saturn return. By music, knowing there was a way to bridge it, it just cut down the time. So, but at the same time, it forces you to clean up your act, to stay and take care of yourself and get in the focus of coping with things better.
So it helps you with your own discipline
Yeah,
too?
right. These are three main things that you'll notice. One, you tend to be more disciplined in your health, more aware of what you're saying specifically, and there's a youthfulness that takes over the body that is obvious to everyone around.
Just by listening to
Look at him.
Yeah. Really?
From last time.
Well, I've had checks on the endocrine glands, so I know it is actually working on the endocrine glands to keep them steady.
How is it working? I mean,
Mhm.
is it a particular note that does a certain thing, a particular succession of? How is this music doing it?
You have a pH factor with your saliva to tell if you're alkaline or acid. No one knew how to get a reading for a normal adrenal gland or a normal endocrine gland unless they did a chemical test. But every part of your anatomy is already synchronizing to 144 elements in rhythm to sonics, and no one ever think of it in that direction. But that's actually what's going on. Subatomic particle is moving in resonance and light, and so that was just a direction to focus the individual to go and try and get a reading. So there are many types of equipment that were present to bring out the readings. You can use a chemical reading, so like a pH factor of paper, or you can use an electrical discharge, or you can get a resonance effect from music or a tuning fork. So they developed a special tuning fork that has an electrical connector, so that when they touch a healthy organ, it will resonate for a long time for them to get a reading or a graph. Then that will give them the peaks and lows to set up the sonics in music. Well, instruments could not hold it. It will fail out. The only thing that could hold like that was the synthesizer. It will start to fit it. That's why you say you can take anything you want and dictate it into the synthesizer and it will come back playing it back. That's what they turned out to be the golden violin that Ponce de Leon was supposed to be looking for in order to identify the fountain of youth. But the fountain of youth is your thymus. That's really what it is. Every doctor knows that, but how you get it to turn on?
We finally discovered what it was, huh? What it was for.
That sonics turns it on back.
What's a good food to tone it?
Hmm?
What's a good food for it?
Nuts. Nut protein, especially almond. You have all 12 basic minerals. Seaweed, spirulina, all the protein that naturally are high in nitrogen. They're very good for the thymus. Now there's a protein they discovered that is animals can eat it without craving to eat other animals. And it's a plant protein. So do you think in the future wild animals may phase out eating their fellow creatures unless they're merely clean up type, but to literally say eat the animal per se.
What plant is that? What plant?
They found it in Africa, we don't know the name yet. I'm trying to get the information. When they say it's a protein, it isn't a plant.
I don't know if this has been asked before, Adano, when I was out there, but
Uh-huh.
I don't know if anyone had asked this question, but concerning the tape, if we only have maybe a half hour before we have to go somewhere, can we listen to just parts of it?
Yeah.
So we don't have to listen to the whole thing?
No. The first exposure is why I like to be there with the first exposure, and we don't say anything and let you make your own comments, so that both sides are clear. Is doing what is called a sonic colonic. Then as you go through the process and identify it, from then on, you're in control of the sonics. So wherever you want to play it on or off and leave the house, that's what we do. I drive my car, and where it stops, and I come up and pick up again. Because the body's already gone through the very first process of it. So it clears that frequencies.
Without the intellect getting involved the
Yeah.
first time.
Adano, what about someone we may share it with?
Let them listen to it, but don't make no comments over what it is the first time. Then, second time you can talk. But it's always best to let them listen to it without making any comment. If let them do the comments. But you don't say anything pertaining to it. It says very nice. Be casual with it till they hear both sides. It's like a therapist administering medicine without making comment. But let them hear both sides, and it will resolve many of their mental anguish unknowingly to them. Then afterwards you can go, well, okay, let's listen to it this way. And then you take them through the ride. Get them to enjoy your 4-line